Hello, welcome to our Wednesday devotional. Thank you for joining me today. I trust this will be a blessing. On Sunday, I noticed that we had a number of visitors, first-time guests, and I'm always thankful when that happens. Sunday, in fact, the guests were from all over. We had a lady from Michigan who was down visiting family. We had a lady from Baltimore also visiting family. We had some local guests, a family that lives here very close to our church location. And then we also had Tina Hill's stepfather, Tim. We had just conducted the funeral service for Tina's mother, Tim's wife, about a week ago. And he had said, I'll come visit you. I'll come visit your church. And he did. And I was very pleased to see him. As I was speaking to him, though, he mentioned that he'd had a hard day the day before. It was just 1 week from the funeral service, and they had been to the graveside, and he just said it was a hard day. He said, I cried a lot. And he's a Christian, he's a believer, but we can't expect that believers, after they lose a loved one, will not have sorrow. In fact, the Bible speaks of this in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, when it says this, I would not have you ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep or have passed away, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. We don't sorrow as others do, but we sorrow. We're sad when our loved ones leave. What a joy it is to know they're in heaven, and a joy to know that we can see them again. But that doesn't fill up the blank spot that's left in our family or in our heart. And I thought about something after speaking with him today, and I read something in a devotional that prompted this thought. I wonder who will cry at your funeral. Here's what I thought. Here's my thinking was like this. We get busy today in many, many things. We get busy trying to please people at work, and that's important. We get busy trying to work with people in activities and various events that take place. And we get busy trying to please people. And sometimes, if we're not careful, we neglect our family and our friends. We neglect our husband or wife. We neglect our children. We neglect our grandchildren because we're so busy working with or trying to please other people. So I thought about that. Who is important in your life? And who is important in my life? And as I thought about that, it helped me to rethink my priorities. And I am asking myself this question, who will cry at my funeral? I don't want to think that no one will. I hope there'll be some that missed me, but maybe my priorities should be that I'll please and work with and spend time with those who really will miss me, those who will cry at my funeral. Let's not get too busy for our families. Let's not get too busy for our loved ones. Let's not get too busy for those that are our family of believers. Sometimes we are so busy in our life. In fact, I read a story about a little girl whose dad had been very busy. He was going here and going there, and even at dinner time, he would rush through dinner and usually get up and leave before the rest of the family was through, and because he was busy with this thing and that thing. So I think she was 5 or 6 years old. After dinner one day, she called up into his lap and said, Daddy, I have to tell you something, but I'll tell you real fast. And the dad said, at that moment, he realized that his life was going too fast. He wasn't spending the time he should with his children, his family. So he said, no, honey, you can go ahead and tell me, and you can tell me slow. And he said it impacted him when she looked at him and said, okay, Daddy, I'll tell you slow, but you need to listen slow. I think sometimes we need to slow down and get our priorities right. We need to make sure that we are working with and dealing with and loving on those who will cry at our funeral. That sounds like a morbid thought, but the fact is, one day we'll be gone. Are we trying to please the wrong people today? Are we misplacing our priorities? I am challenged by that thought. And I thought maybe you would be too. I trust you'll have a wonderful day. I trust you'll work on getting your priorities straight. And I promise I will too. God bless you.